Hey, welcome back as I walk you through getting clean voiceovers just using your phone. Then, I'll show you how to turn that raw audio into punchy social clips using smart tools like Vizard. This is the exact batching workflow I use for creating massive amounts of content quickly. If you create long videos and need consistent short clips, this whole process will save you so much time. First up is the recording phase, and most phones already have a voice memo app you can search for. It is ridiculously simple. Open the app, hit the big red button, and just start recording. However, those tiny little recording techniques make a monumental difference in the final sound quality. You need to hold the phone toward your mouth, but definitely do not press it right up against your lips. Holding it directly in front slams the burst of air from words like P or B right into the mic, causing a nasty pop. Instead, hold the phone slightly down and angle it up towards your mouth. This angle allows your breath to pass by the microphone instead of going straight into it, keeping your voice very clear. The next crucial element is choosing the right room for recording your narration. Simply put, the quieter and less echoey your space is, the better the raw audio will sound later on. Giant empty rooms with only hard walls are the absolute worst for sound quality. Everything in those spaces ends up sounding hollow and very distant from the listener. A standard bedroom or home office is perfectly acceptable for recording good takes. Better options include your car, which is perfect because the soft interior absorbs echo so well. Another excellent choice is simply standing inside a closet completely full of clothes. All that fabric acts like instant professional-grade acoustic treatment for your voice. Anywhere with clutter and soft surfaces is going to naturally reduce problematic sound reflections. You must also keep your phone very steady throughout the entire take. If you move it around a lot, the volume levels constantly change, which is a nightmare to edit later. A simple trick here is to prop the phone somewhere stable, like on a cup or a stack of books. Feel free to record multiple takes if you need to start over from a specific spot. Always speak like you are casually talking to a close friend while you are recording. Small, natural phrasing sounds infinitely better than lines that have been over-enunciated. If you happen to mess up a line, just pause for one beat and immediately repeat the sentence cleanly. It is super easy later on to stitch those clean, perfect takes together seamlessly. When you finish recording, the immediate next step is getting that audio file off your phone device. AirDrop is the fastest transfer method if you are exclusively using the Apple ecosystem. Otherwise, you can always email it to yourself or upload it directly to Google Drive or Dropbox. All of those simple options allow you to pull the file right into your computer's editing software. If you are a Premiere Pro user, you import this audio file just like any other track. Then, simply line up the clean voiceover track with your video footage on the timeline. A quick pro tip is to use a light compressor or normalize the clip to even out the volume. Now, we need to talk about editing and distribution, because recording is only half the battle, right? Traditional editing suites like Premiere give you full control, which is awesome if you like fiddling with tiny details. But if you want to turn one long video into dozens of short, platform-ready clips, that manual process eats up huge amounts of time. This is exactly where those smarter, more automated tools really start to shine for content creators. You have probably seen products like Descript or Capwing being used for similar tasks. Descript is fantastic for text-based editing, making complex cuts much easier to execute. However, Descript can get pricey, and its automated edits sometimes require a fair amount of manual cleanup. Mobile editors like CapCut or Capwing are great for quick, one-off jobs on phones. But they become tedious when you are producing at scale because you still have to find, crop, caption, and resize every piece. Now let's enter Vizard, which I think truly solves that massive problem of turning one long video into dozens of short clips that actually won't. These are the specific features within the platform that I personally rely on the most when batching content. First, its auto-editing feature scans your entire long video to intelligently pick out the highest engagement moments. It immediately generates ready-to-post short clips that are optimized to capture attention fast. The AI specifically looks for energy spikes, interesting phrases, and key visual cues in the footage. This single feature alone legitimately saves you hours that you would otherwise spend manually scrubbing through all of your raw footage. Second, the auto-schedule function lets you set your desired posting frequency, and Vizard queues and publishes the content automatically for you. This means you genuinely do not have to sit there and babysit a complicated content calendar every single day of the week. That level of automation is absolutely huge when your goal is keeping consistent posting momentum across multiple different social channels. Finally, the integrated content calendar keeps everything you have scheduled and ready editable right there in one centralized place. You can easily tweak captions, swap out a thumbnail, or completely reschedule a clip without ever having to jump between 3 different software applications. Think of it as one single unified dashboard that handles all of your planning, light editing, and final publishing needs seamlessly. A huge number of creators seriously underestimate just how much process friction is actually killing their posting consistency week over week. You can have the absolute top-tier video ideas, but if the process from raw file to scheduled short is slow, you simply will not post frequently enough to grow. Vizard works by smoothing out that friction. You record on your phone, pull the long file in, and let the AI immediately propose dozens of high-potential clips for you. Then you just quickly review those suggestions, tweak any tiny detail you feel necessary, and hit the final schedule button. If you compare that to other AI editors, some pick clips far too generically, meaning you get stuck with boring middle-of-the-conversation segments. Furthermore, a lot of the other professional options are frankly built for large marketing teams and end up being far too expensive for independent creators like us. Vizard manages to hit that sweet spot by offering smart auto selection without forcing you to become a full-time editor or pay ridiculous enterprise-level prices. Getting back to the voiceovers, you can absolutely record your narration on your phone and then layer that clean track directly onto your newly generated short clips. If you prefer having full granular control over the audio, just export that clean voice memo and import it into Premiere Pro or directly into Vizard itself. Vizard supports importing and syncing external audio tracks, which is a really nice feature when the perfect short clip needs a tighter or clearer voice track than the original camera audio provided. One final practical audio tip is to quickly run an EQ pass on your voice memo by cutting low rumble, boosting presence for clarity, and then adding a light compressor to even out the dynamics. Having that clean, even file is especially beneficial when uploading to Vizard because it makes the automated clip detection and subsequent captioning much more accurate. Speaking of which, you must always add captions to your short-form content. I cannot stress that point enough. The reality is that the vast majority of people scroll and watch content on mute, especially when they are using their mobile devices. Thankfully, tools like Vizard generate these captions automatically, though you should always take a quick moment to tweak any potential errors. While you shouldn't rely 100% on the raw automatic accuracy, they serve as a massive time saver if you only have to perform a quick spot check. For a fast workflow recap, first, record your voice memo on your phone, making sure it's angled up and you've chosen a low echo spot like a car or closet. Second, transfer that file to your computer using your preferred method, and then do a light EQ or compression pass if necessary. Third, upload the long video along with your separate voiceover file if you made one into Vizard, and let the AI instantly suggest all your short clips. Fourth, review those suggestions, tweak just a handful of them, finalize the captions, and set your custom thumbnails. Finally, use the content calendar and auto-schedule feature so you never have to worry about manually hitting the post button every day. As a final thought, if you are actively learning how to sound better on camera or in podcast recordings, these simple phone recording tips are truly golden advice. If your struggle is turning long-form content into a steady stream of shorts, that is purely a process problem, not a lack of creativity, and tools like Vizard are designed to bridge that very specific gap. Look, it is not some magic wand that replaces good content, but it gets you from raw footage to consistent posting without absolutely wasting tons of your valuable time. If you're interested, I actually have a follow-up video planned that dives deep into writing natural-sounding voiceover scripts so they never read like you're just staring at cue cards. I will make sure to link that specific follow-up video right down in the description box below. Additionally, I frequently teach other video production techniques and sometimes post assignments you can try on your own, so hit subscribe if you enjoy hands-on learning. All right, everyone, go make some voiceovers that do not sound like you recorded them inside a literal cave, and then let the AI handle the boring part of turning them into social clips. Vizard remains a very solid option in your toolkit whenever your goal is speed, intelligence, and ultimate scalability in your publishing. Thanks for watching, and I will definitely see all of you in the next video.